Ben's Tale, An Adventure of Truth and Myth. Book 1, Seeds of Destiny. Chapter 1, The Rise and Fall. Scene 9. Ben's dad, David, woke suddenly from his dreams with a cold shiver that ran through him. It took a moment for him to realize where he was, and another 2 or 3 to believe it. He was flying, backwards, over several mountaintops. He twisted himself around to get a better view. He was too high in the sky for him to estimate how far up he was. Whenever he passed over a mountain, he would just miss its crest by a few feet. If only he could figure out how to get out of this putrid cloud, maybe he could time it so he landed on a plateau. He looked around him and tried to stretch his hand beyond the edge of the fog cloud. As he neared the border, it bent further away. He tested it in a few spots, but the results were all the same. The specter continued to cackle and howl, but as long as he thought about getting out, he was able to steel himself up to ignore it. It danced and swirled around him like a twister. David pulled back his arm and drove a fist into the center of the specter's form. The cloud stuttered, skid, and dropped down 10 or 20 feet. He began to kick, swing, and grab mercilessly at the whirling specter. It started to break apart. The cloud was losing its grip upon him. Ben's father, David, zipped just over the rolling top of another mountain when the greenish fog spit him out. He saw it gather itself together and hover silently above him. David landed painfully against the rocky surface. I'm free, he thought. It hurts like mad, but I made it. He bounced twice along the surface and flew out and off its edge. There was one last screaming laugh from the greenish cloud, and then it was gone. Hello, all, and welcome to Scene 9 of Ben's Tale, Book 1, Seeds of Destiny, Chapter 1, The Rise and Fall. We will shoot to put up 1 or 2 units each week every Thursday morning. This week's art is by our Benjamin. I love how I am breaking through the membrane and closing. Please smash the like button, ring the bell, but most important, please subscribe. That way you will not miss out on Thursdays when these come out. All of these things are needed for YouTube's algorithm to make our videos more seen by the random YouTuber. If you want to support us, become a patron on our Patreon. The link is below in the description. You may be wondering why we use such an unusual font for our text and story. A handful of years ago, I ran across a font called Dyslexie. It is a font that is supposed to be easier for people who are dyslexic. The letters are asymmetric in such a way that they are easier to distinguish. People with Asperger's, like Ben, have a tendency to be more apt to have difficulties with dyslexic issues. I'm hoping it will make it easier for people with autism and Asperger's. If you have any comments you want to share, feel free to post them. We want your thoughts and comments. Please keep things civil. We had loads of people who watched last week's scene, but there was very little interplay from y'all. The absence of comments is embarrassing. Your thoughts, opinions, ideas will help us know what you like and what we need to strengthen. You may not believe this, but every page of this book was improved by people just like you. We can handle most criticism, just be nice. We may be big old hairy humans, but a sharp tongue can be brutal to our heart. 90% of our portion of the money you folks are able to give, Patreon, will go to help pay for my 91-year-old mother's, alias Ben's grandma Edie, get care at home. Any level you can manage on Patreon would be a big help. There are rewards at every level. Thank you very much for visiting. Please come again. Peace, hugs, and happiness. David Amrod, signing